Mm-hmm. We are going to be drawing a page. Graveyard should. Wait, what? Let me get my chat popped out. And let's get it tweeted. All right. Well, I thought I popped the chat out. Oh well, doesn't matter. My eye's gonna be on the page mostly. This is page 50 of 84. And in theory, I'm going to draw it start to finish, so it's going to be a long ass stream. Potentially very boring for you. That's my sales pitch. What's up, Aaron? All right. And here we go. Got my notes. So originally on the layout I had Kronos. I don't know how well you can see him here, but he was flipped facing the other way. John wanted him facing that way instead of looking off the page. Keep you in the page. So here's my warm-up right here. Do a couple panel borders. Look at that. Already fully warmed up. I think I'll start with the headshot here, just to get something on the page. There's another note from Johnny Boy. This guy should be yelling because the wind is blowing in the tunnel. They're about to get air fried if they don't get out of there. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I guess that's coming through pretty good. So I got my blue line down already because that's from the layout. I do like super tight layouts. And I would show, I'll dig it up later. I'm going to get drawing first. I got to get some momentum built. So I do thumbnail on the script, And then I do a layout on an 8.5 by 11, 2 up. And at that point, I arrange the panel, try to like blow up the shots. Well, I've talked about it a little bit before, but I mean, if you're telling a story, obviously you can go 100 different ways, but I feel like the best way is kind of defined by what they're asking for in the writing. So, like, while it may feel like you have hundreds of options that you can do the panel, I think there's usually only one or two. So then once I get the shot defined, then I try to fuck around with it. And like this page, he's armoring up. I added a panel and then I broke him out to give this like a pin-up-y type shot. To give you something cool to look at. But before I did all that, the actual script, I did a much simpler version, a old school simplified storytelling version. Then I take that simple storytelling, right? Because I know the story's told. I hit everything that I'm supposed to hit, or at least I think I do. Sometimes I miss shit, but in theory, if everything's like working perfectly, and then I play with it a little bit to try to make it cooler to look at, and then I take it into Clip Studio. I put my perspective grids in, if there are any. They're in like a tunnel here. I don't know how well you can see the perspective grid, but I do that in Clip Studio. So yeah, this is like the layout scanned in, the Clip Studio perspective, then print it out. And what I've learned also, this new working method, even though I'm doing a pretty tight layout here, I still give it one more pass, right? Because like even this panel here, like John made a correction, no big deal, but just that third, fourth time going over it is another chance to correct the errors, right? And because I did this layout, you know, 3 weeks ago, because I worked on the layouts about 3 weeks. This is one of the since this is one of the earlier pages, I have a lot more distance from what I actually drew to the current situation, the current day, so I'm able to see it a little bit better. I don't know that 34 layouts in a row or whatever is the way to go, but that's what I did. I didn't want any more stops. I wanted to be able to schedule my work. and do the 3 pages a week. Even though I'm running a little bit behind this week, but I'm coming off doing the layouts, so I kind of build momentum the more I draw. So like 2 weeks from now, I'll be faster, more motivated to draw. Because layouts, they're a mind wipe. They really are. It's like kind of the funnest part, but also the hardest part. And if you do that many in a row, if I'm doing a layout and I can do like a layout and then draw the page that day, but then that's going to drive John or whoever your editor or writer is crazy because they're not going to want to have to look at this shit every day, right? They got lives to live too. All right, so we got that most of the way in there. All right, so construction's done on that guy. Now it's all about shading it. And I have been, like his left hand over here has been lit. So lightly. I'm going to try to add in a little shadow work. John prefers faces to be kind of open, actually. Just let the colors do the work. Because you can get in trouble shading, especially if you don't use reference. It can make the characters look way older than they should be. I think that works. I don't think that one will get shot down. So now that I got it in there lightly, I can go and add in the hatching. Which can get away from you real quick. Bro, I wouldn't even know how to begin to say your name. The Rad Mule? You're a Rad Mule? Or would it be French? Mulet. But yeah, I can't wait for people to get this book. If you hang on a second, and put the headphones down, I'm going to go get a cooler or a finished page, and I'm going to show off the bad guy. 1 second. So, here's a completed page. I'm going to turn on my tablet so I can see the quality. Yeah, it's showing up pretty good. Yeah, so that's the bad guy. They're getting off the drop ship outside a dude's lair. You got Bram and uh, a few semi-main players and a handful of generics that are going to get up in the mix. Uh, you got a little bit of the ship trying to shoot up the lair, the prison. Got the bad guy in the window, and then of course the close-up of him looking out. Tough looking hombre, eh? So yeah, that's a completed page. A lot of shit goes down in this book. First half is team introduction. You learn who the Omega Storm, who they are, a little bit about their origin, but it's all set up in the current day context and leads into them joining Graveyard Shift. Go track down some shit. But yeah, 140 pages. You guys are gonna love it. I'm probably gonna stream another page before closeout. We'll see. Another thing, they're all in their early 20s basically. So another reason I got to be careful adding shadow and stuff. You know, when I'm looking too old. Mm. See, here I am trying to get in trouble, doing too much shading right there. That's good. All right. Let me grab. You guys gonna get to see another page. This page here actually, this is a printout. It actually has a correction. I had to redraw. Yeah, I drew him too wide, right? All that effort, I had to erase him. Plus, I had to add a gun to him. Anyway, so kind of keeping with the pipe motif. Tell you what, the further along I get in my career, the more you learn to not care for each particular line as much, and especially since Jimmy's coming in inking. I can spend that time elsewhere. Overall on the page, right? Like I could get caught up noodling this dude's fucking hair, like weaving it in and out. I could get caught up. I could this whole thing. I could beat it back down with the kneaded eraser and like really, really fine tune it. But that's how books don't get done, you know. And it defeats the whole purpose of having an inker. Hopefully that's not off camera. And a little turn to the vents. Tell you what the damnedest thing is. Like right now I'm drawing in a area. I'm gonna spend 5 minutes on it, 10 minutes on it. It's all gonna be covered up with a word balloon. What do you do? Just gotta live with it. If his electric hand is over here, it's gonna be casting heavy shadow up on that wall. Right, I could also spend time haloing all this stuff, but why not just make a dark line, right? So it's obviously a seam, and then just pencil over it. If you look at Capullo's Batman, uh, the pencil version, you'll see he does that a lot. Like he turns his pencil on its side to cover, more ground. Go back, add some joints. I guess I could have planned to have some people in here, but I don't know. I'd rather do stream of thought as I'm working. You probably get more out of it. It's going to be long and boring, but if you're up late drawing, put it on. Put some music on with it. Just peep up every now and again when I'm talking. Mm-hmm. Put some shading in his hair. Boom! One panel done. That's how you do it. All right, I got a sound effect here for the wind. So let's tighten that B up. Actually, hang on. Add a little bit more shit up here. And like the more I've done tech, you get like a catalog in your head of like tech-ish looking shit. I said done. Here I am drawing on it again. This part of his costume is black. Alright, now that panel's done. Maybe. Should I do shading up here? Go the extra quarter mile. Why not? Why not? Alright, back to the sound effects. Tell you what, I never really thought too much about sound effects until Daniel Warren Johnson came along. That dude is like master at it. He makes it look cool. Like I never really got into manga and all that stuff. Just wasn't my thing. But I know there's a lot more sound effects drawing in those. And I showed it last time. I got the full page here. Show it again. Maybe. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah. Here, really happy with how that turned out. It's supposed to show the jets of air coming out. And I felt just the distance away, everything felt tiny, like a miniature. Like, okay, you got jets of air coming out, big deal. And then you got all this rock out here. So, am I just gonna draw a bunch of stupid looking rocks? No. So I put the sound effect in there, and what do you know? This is probably like one of my favorite pages. Very happy with it. Don't know that I would have gotten there without looking at Daniel Warren Johnson's art. He's another guy that he doesn't get too caught up in any one particular line. It's all the sum total to make the page, you know? I did a Viking Wolf pinup for the next Visions book, and I did like labor over that damn thing. I put 30 hours into it or something crazy like that. And yeah, it looks cool as hell, you know. John says, "Do your best, Rob Willis," because that's a dude that, you know, every line is curated and stewed on. And I tell you, I feel like it's just almost like a totally different. We don't we don't do the same thing, you know. It's like J. Scott Campbell and, you know, him doing only cover work. It's just like if you're in the grind of doing interiors. Jeepers creepers. One second. Hey, don't say anything crazy. I'm doing a live stream right now. You want to join in? Just chit chat with me? Do what? What'd you say? One second, folks. Got a call on the Skype. Can you hear me? Yeah, yeah. I'm just drawing a page. You want to join in? Just yeah, I hear you. You want to come in or not? I didn't mute you. You're trying to tell me you can't hear me? Hmm. One second, folks. Trying to get Nick in here. What's up, Jay Ryan? Ran Nada. But yeah, anyway, dude, drawing interiors and, you know, while I'm not monthly, I'm doing 3 pages a week. It's totally different ball game than stewing over a pinup or a cover. That's not, by the way, that's not a diss on anybody. I often daydream of like, you know, should I become one of those guys? Just like go, Jesus. Let me see the settings here. Audio. Can you hear me? I see it reading the meter. Yeah, I'm just on my stream drawing a page. All right, well, hang on. I got to add you in, all right? Give me a second. I got to go into OBS. Say a few words, and we'll see if the audience can hear you or not.
Hello, the audience of...
Jay Ryan, can you hear him? Ran Nada, can you hear him?
I got nothing.
Well, hang on, I'm waiting for him to respond. Yep, alright, they can hear you.
All right, cool. All right, so you remember we were talking about how Possum Kingdom by the Toadies is definitely a religious song, right?
Oh,
100%,
yeah. 100.
100% guaranteed. The only way you could possibly think that that's a serial killer song is you're living in a deep, dark state of a coma.
Yeah, you're projecting. You're projecting.
Yeah, it's because the light isn't shined upon you. So I say we do a podcast, and this could be just a spitball here. So you know how a priest is dressed in black with a little white collar, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we get those shirts, but we make that collar go all the way down, the white collar like a stripe from the neck, to your fucking zipper, right? And we put on a big cotton hat, right? We call ourselves Christ Q-tips, bro. We're gonna clean out people's ears. we tell people we're gonna clean out their fucking ears, right? Because if you listen to Possum Kingdom, he literally says, "I ain't gonna lie, I want you for mine, my blessed bride, my lover, be my lover." Yeah, that is Christ walking with a girl. He's saying, "Walk with me." And what does he say he wants in that song? I mean, they end the song with Jesus, 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 right? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people want to say that's about a serial killer, Tommy. That ain't true. That ain't true. He says, "I promise you." So do you know
I always got supernatural vibes, bro, but I never connected the Jesus dot
Okay.
until you did.
He says, "I promise you, I will treat you well, my sweet angel. Help me, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." Like the whole song is him. You can maybe think about a girl wants to join the nunnery or something. Like who knows? But the fact, like, I could not believe. I was astonished when someone told me it was about a serial killer, and I thought, what kind of heathen? What kind of demonic being is possessed in this person? It's clearly Jesus Christ, the Almighty Lord and Savior, walking with this girl, and he's saying, "Walk with me." He's like, and he says, "I promise you, I'll treat you well." Dude, if you take that literally and get the demon cleared out of your ears, the Christ Q-tips will help you, bro. So what I'm saying is, we put on big cotton hats, we go ahead and extend that priest stripe down, and we start an exorcism on these people with their dark minds and souls. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm feeling it at. What do you think?
I'm with you. I don't know. What do the people think?
Let me pull some more lyrics up for you. Lyrics to Possum Kingdom. And it's literally called Possum Kingdom. He's singing it like, why he never talks about Possum Kingdom in that. The song, like Possum Kingdom, that's you low level monkeys walking around in the dirt, rolling around in your own shit, not thinking right? So he says, "Make up your mind, decide to walk with me around the lake tonight, by my side." And then he says, and this is where, like, I had another buddy say no, because he says, "I'm not going to be a gentleman." Well, anyone knows that if you're going to walk with the path of Christ, Tommy, that it's going to be hard. You got to, he says, rip out your own eye if you look at another woman, right? So it's going to be difficult for you to walk this path. So that's absolutely, and you'll notice with some of these artists, like this is the epiphany I had, right? Any great song that rises either has the truth in it or can be lit from the darkness, because then it catches the whole audience, right? Like if you just went dark, your satanic heavy metal, that's only one note. If you went too religious, that's only one note. Those are small audiences. But if you can get everybody with your message, and you could actually use your fish hook or your shepherd's hook with a hook in a song per se, and like switch the hook, right? Like and if you're going to catch men, right? If you're going to actually convert people over, right? This is what you need, right? And the first time you come to this awakening, right? Like the song says, "Don't be afraid. I didn't mean to scare you. So help me, Jesus." He says, "You'll stay beautiful with dark hair and soft skin forever, forever." And he starts pleading with her. He says, make up your mind, and I'll promise you, I will treat you well, my sweet angel. So help me, Jesus. And what does Jesus want? He wants everything. He wants you to give it up to him, right? So he says, give it up to me. Give it up to me. Do you want to be my sweet angel? So he says, so help me. Do you want to be my sweet angel? Blah, blah, blah. And then he goes the opposite way. And he asks her, do you want to die? He doesn't say, you want me to kill you or I'm going to kill you? He's pleading for her soul. He says, do you want to die? Do you want to die? Do you want to die? And then he has to scream it. Do you want to die? Do you want to die? And he's like, what else do I got to say here? And he says, I promise you, I will treat you well, my sweet angel. So help me, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Now, if you can hear those lyrics and think that was about a serial killer, you need to go see your local priest, have him rub some anointed oil on your head, and get that demon out from between your ears.
Yeah, dude, you're like a half step away from shooting green pea soup at your nose, bro.
Oh yeah, dude, get out of here. You might as well twist your head around and crawl all over the ceiling if that's what you're hearing in that song, in that angelic song right there. That's where I'm at, Tommy Patterson. So I'm gonna order us a couple of these shirts and get us some cotton hats.
The Christ Q-tips, huh?
Yeah, Christ Q-tips, baby. We're gonna clean out the demons out of these people's ears. It's equivalent to what my dad used to do before he started his car as a kid, his truck. He bought a truck. It came with a turkey, oddly enough. We went garage selling, and a guy had an old F-150. And they said, and my dad asked him if it would crank, and he says, he thinks it still cranks. He said, how much you want for it? And the guy said, give me $100. He said, $100? He says, okay. My dad's got to go back to the bank, get out $100. We come back. The guy's got turkeys in his yard too. He says, hell, I'll throw in a turkey with it. So we get a turkey and stick it in the cab of that car with us. And before he cranks that car and that old man gives him his key, my dad puts that key on his fucking key ring, and he looks at it, and he takes that key and he digs it into his fucking ears, and he cleans them out with that key. And then we go on our business, and we have a brand new turkey that ended up dying because it escaped and drank oil, like water mixed with oil in the front of the house for whatever reason.
Shit.
Probably because we had $100 truck leaking oil. Place.
Damn,
so
bro.
what I'm saying is we're going to give people the keys to clean out their fucking ears is what I'm saying here, Tommy. That's where I'm at.
What if they go out and start drinking motor oil, though? That's
well, you know,
that's what worries me.
Oh, yeah, because, you know, mostly it's going to be demonic people we're speaking with, so they probably would think these motherfuckers want us to go chug water mixed with antifreeze. Let me tell you guys, don't do that. This isn't medical advice. This is soul advice. All right.
Yeah. Don't get it mixed up.
That's where I'm at right now, Tommy Patterson.
It's good. It's entertaining. You help the stream out a lot. You got me 2 extra viewers now.
Well, they need to click back 10 minutes, and then they need to go jam that song and feel the goosebumps curl up on their arms as that demon proceeds to leave their skin and the Holy Spirit enters their hearts.
I didn't realize it till you pointed it out. Yeah. Probably most everybody watching is just eat up with the devil.
Hey, if you're sitting around all day watching YouTube, somebody drawing,
if
get out of here.
if you're watching me, dude, you got something bad wrong with you.
Yeah, you got too much time on your hand. You're possessed with sloth and laziness like the rest of us. So I imagine you jam that song and you think this is a great serial killer song, and that to me is a sad existence. And I'm here to excess that tumor from the middle of your skull. Get that out of you. Away, demons.
You drawing or what?
Yeah, I'm working in Procreate right now. Tighten up some
Cool.
a rough that's now digital pencils that will be printed out and inked. Axel or John. Got 2 pages left.
Cool.
30 pages left to color on this thing. So
is that campaign still open to like for people they can buy it?
Well, we put our final order in at the printer, and I'm overprinting 1,500 copies because it's going to be 5 books over the next 5 years of my life. So they're talking about reopening it, but I don't want people who are. It's like a weird in between. Are people going to be upset because they felt cheated, like extending campaigns and stuff? I think that's normal, But there's a part of me that thinks, well, you didn't get in when you got in, and did the other people feel cheated or something? We are going to overprint. So Zoop is trying to get with me now and seeing if I would open it because we have so many extra copies. Because I think we've made 1,300 cells.
If you reopen the campaign, you can go, here I go, here I go, here I go again.
No, everyone's going to go, where's my book? Where's my book? I ordered this 3 months ago.
Oh, you're getting to it. We're trying to rebrand these songs for Jesus right now. That book can wait.
I do that. Like if we made a YouTube channel not withdrawing, it just went over. Problem is the copyright strikes. Like you would need to jam it and cut in Jesus. Like there's that show, The Chosen. Highly recommend it. Now available on Amazon streaming, by the way. And episode 1, it has Mary Magdalene, who's the prostitute, and she's kind of got a demon in her. They kind of reference that. And Nicodemus, the Pharisees can't get it out of her, and she's tormented. She's going to kill herself. She sees a dove. She goes to the bar, starts drinking again, and she goes to get that drink, and Jesus puts his hand on her, and he says, "That's not for you." And when he says that's not for you, he could be speaking to the demon inside of her right there as he's accessing that demon from her, or it could be the drink. She goes outside, and the whole time she's been reading the scripture, Old Testament, and it says something like, I called you by name, you are mine, blah, blah, blah. So she walks out. She says, "Get your hands off me, freak," saying that to Jesus. She walks outside. He walks out, and he says, Mary of Magdalene. And he looks at her and says, "You are mine." And he claims her, right? And then that demon goes flying away. That's essentially, if we could do that with 2 or 3 pop songs, that'd probably be more important than anything we ever draw sitting around alone in our rooms, We can make one good YouTube video, cleaning out people's ears from the toadies, and we would be probably more successful when we show up at the pearly gates. And God says, well, you reach more people making a joke about Christ Q-tips, and he'll have a laugh, and then he'll send us down to hell like the demons we are.
Now, I want to be able to wear the Christ Q-tip outfit up in heaven, bro.
He said, "Oh, that was definitely not enough." Nice try.
Nice try, though. We could go viral with that, dude. You'll have people cosplaying us out there.
Yeah, I'm convinced of it now, because if we wear that black shirt, we drop that white stripe down, put a big old cotton hat on, we're done, dude. It's over.
Yeah, punching our ticket to heaven.
Could you imagine laying that at the feet of Jesus? When he asks you about your faith and works, and you show up with a cotton hat on and a striped shirt.
Oh, bro. We got J-Dub here and Admiral Wackass. Sumo was in here a second ago. Yeah.
Ask your followers, ask your flock to listen to that song and think about Jesus. Ask your flock to listen to that Toady song right now. Go ahead and pause the stream or whatever, however it works. Go fire up the Toadies, and you think about Jesus. Now you're going to get to that point where he says, "I'm not going to be a gentleman beside the boathouse," blah, blah, blah. I'm saying that anytime you create something that catches the whole flock, you must put a dark veil on it. That little line there, Jesus likes a bit of poetry. He's going to extend that to you and give you a bit of poetry. Like Axel or John, there's some moral lessons in there that I'm pretty proud of, but I had to cleave his face and nose off so you can see the boogers coming out of his face. So you think this is some cool demonic stuff. But by the time you read it, your soul will be enriched. Your thirst will be quenched. Your hunger will be satiated. You know what I mean?
I always had a theory that Marilyn Manson was like going to be a net positive for Christianity, but turns out I was wrong. He's just a druggie.
Oh yeah. Oh, let me put that disclaimer. I have done lots of drugs in my life, so I don't know. I wouldn't listen to anything I say either. But if you want a good laugh,
yeah, back Axe Wilder, back Graveyard Shift Omega Storm, become a Christ Q-tip, get into heaven. The path is easy. The path is clear.
I want more people to jam that song knowing that it's Christ pleading with the girl to walk with him.
Oh well, you've rewritten it. No matter what, it's rewritten for
You'll never
the six
unhear
people. The six people in here hanging out.
it. Every time they jam that song from now on, and that song is super re-listenable to because that's like one of the few songs without a chorus. You know, it doesn't come back or whatever it's called. I don't know music theory, but it doesn't come back 3 times to the same lines. You know, it just keeps going. So it just feels like this long, cool thing. Other than the fact that he says Jesus all the time in it, and he wants to know if she wants to be an angel and live forever, and he's going to keep her dark hair and soft skin forever. Man, and then the crazy thing, it's such a yin and yang, right? Like I think if you study Hermeticism a little bit, it's like good and evil or vibrations up and down. You know, it has both sides. It's completely a serial killer demonic song if you don't trust the guy speaking, or it's 100% Jesus Christ Almighty trying to save the soul of this poor girl. And the only factor is you in the middle and what your mindset is. And the fact that no one's picked up on this yet is shocking to me.
Yeah, no, we got to start collapsing those waveforms back the other way.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, like if we did this, like this song was easy, right? I mean, but I'm telling you that they're all going to be easy. We run a show that's not with us strong, and we're just breaking down satanic music and giving it exorcisms. And like you said the other day, they'll be running all this heavy metal on Christian radio soon.
Oh man, this costume is crazy. It's got all these damn lines on it. What's crazy is I feel like if I had designed this costume, I'd easily be able to remember all the lines, but because I didn't, I can't remember them ever.
You've seen that South Park where they take their wives to theater plays like Cats or whatever women like. You know what I'm talking about?
Anyway,
Like Wicked, and all these big theater shows. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Have you seen that episode of South Park?
I've watched maybe 5 episodes of South Park ever.
So well, that's sad to hear, but it is a great show. Great social commentary in that show, Tommy. Highly recommend it. But in that show, all the husbands start taking their wives to see the plays, and every time they sing, the women only hear the songs, but in South Park has them singing it, but it's not this, but it's something like this. They're like, whatever Wicked song it is, you know, Dorothy or a witch, it'll be singing the regular song, and then they yell out, blowjob, give him a blowjob, blowjob, give him a blowjob. So all the men keep taking their wives to go see these plays, and they get a blow, you know, their sex life takes off because the women feel like the husbands care about them, but really it's the way they broke it down was their subliminal messaging to give your husband a blowjob in it. And the way this is going to work like this, like you never heard Jesus 15 times in this song, but now when you listen to it, that's all you'll hear. Once you clear out your ears, once the Christ Q-tips come in, we're going to clean them out here. And no blowjobs for you guys either. You guys are going to get on your knees and worship the cross.
I feel like, what do you think about the name Reclaiming the Archetypes? What do you think about that for this?
Nobody knows what that means. Most people don't know what archetypes means. No people know that. What are we reclaiming them for? They're never not there if you know what they are. So then if you know what archetypes are, then how are you going to reclaim them? So you're saying they're suppressed in some way. So I've already wasted about 45 seconds talking in circles about it. Must not be a good thing. If something's called Christ Q-tips, it's pretty simple, and we're dressed as Q-tips. I mean, these listeners are knuckle dragging morons. That's what you said about them off air all the time, right, Tommy? So you got to make it perfectly clear.
You're trying to paint me up like your boy Zach.
I don't even know who is that. I only know you. I'm just calling you to talk to you. I don't know who that is. Anyway, so if we're dressed up as the literal Q-tip, I was thinking this too. Like you could open the podcast, and we could say like, you know, songs from the perspective of the devout Christian and the agnostic or the atheist or whatever. And as soon as we get on, we just both completely agree all music, no matter what it is Christian music. Set them up and then a bait and switch. You know what I
No,
mean?
dude, that's it. That's what Jordan Peterson was arguing.
What's that? What did he say?
That it's like within the fabric of everything right now.
Oh yeah. It's all seated on the same.
But we'll make it more less highbrow. We'll make it more literally. Everything is.
Yeah. I agree with that too. And then so like this is a real conversation I've had with myself. Like, if you do turn to faith in Christ and all this stuff, right? And it's asking all this of you, then are you allowed to draw demonic shit? Are you allowed to draw people killing stuff? Are you allowed to do that? And so you go with this battle. Like, I like that stuff, right? Like, I was raised on Predator. I was raised on metal music. I was raised on this. I like it. So then what you think about is you ain't writing the Bible. You ain't God. You're not Frank Quietly. You don't draw that well, or you're Mark Silvestri, whatever. But you are going to draw at a level and write at a level what you want it, because it's all the stuff you like. You're taking the culmination of all the stuff you've liked, and you're going to distill it down. And since other people were raised in your timeline and like the same pop culture references, you are going to make something. You are going to spit something out that is what you like, and therefore other people will like it. And what I think is that we are playing Halloween. We are ourselves, but we put on a mask and to act scary, right? But hopefully under that mask is good and not the actual devil that you are, right? Like, there's something good behind it. So what you do with your works is you can play in blood, and you can play in death, and you can play in whatever aesthetics you like that get you off or blow your hair back. And then you put that mask, that aesthetic on it, but the moral messaging is always the same, because we can all agree there's a moral understanding of the world, right? And a basic example of that would be, if you're walking along and I trip your ass and you get up and beat me up, everyone would think, okay, Nick deserved it. But if I accidentally trip you and you get up and beat me up, now you're in the wrong. We can agree on a few standards of things, and that goes back to your archetypes and the core bottom subtext of everything we're doing socially. There is a standard that we all agree on, no matter what religion or how we were raised, unless, I guess, cigarettes were just put on the back of your neck your whole life and you're just mean. But other than that, I think we can kind of, for the mass majority, we can all agree on some moral law, some moral code. And that code is in everything. And that's why I think what happens is the stuff that rises and that's remembered is those things that are done with high craft and correct morality. I think those things, because people like that note, they like that song, they want that to be reality, they want that happy ending, or they want that guy to get his comeuppance. And if you get into writing books or like Save the Cat, they have all these beat sheets, and you get into character development, they have all these archetypes, and everyone kind of falls into a thing, all as much as we like to think we're unique. And we like hearing the same song told different ways over and over again. That's kind of what I think Peterson was getting at.
Bro,
And I think that's what we are going to do.
I got that Save the Cat audiobook, and I can't go 5 minutes into that thing without completely fucking zoning out. It pisses me off.
No, that's a good one to have, the physical book. And there's actually only one chapter you need when he goes and he talks about. So what the guy did in Save the Cat was he would listen to the audio of movies while he drove back and forth in LA, and he wrote a bunch of children's movies and children's movies and Disney movies at kind of a base level. And they're more contrived because you're not dealing with actors and people, you're dealing with animators, and you're planning stuff more because you can't do second takes of once the scenes are drawn kind of stuff, right? So it's even more tight. And what he realized, if it was Harry and the Hendersons or whatever movie, they all had a beat and a rhythm to it. And it'd be like, okay, something happens at the beginning by page 9 of the script or 10 minutes into the movie where you've in the first 10 minutes you've set everything up, and then something floats in. And if you've seen Overboard with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, what happens is he's a carpenter, he's raising his kids by himself. She's an uppity bitch. All of a sudden, she goes overboard, and that changes the dynamic of the situation, right? A letter comes, and you just inherited a bunch of money. So that's the catalyst that happens by page 10. And then this happens, and this happens by page this. And then the bad guys come back, and then there's a hint of death or a whiff of death. And that happens on page 67 or whatever. And he broke it down. He realized because the tapes for the movies on a cassette wouldn't last, like it would take 2 cassettes. So he knew what the midpoint reveal was. There was that always turned the story on its head. So what he did was say, I'm going to break down a formula, and I'm going to really figure out what these beats are. And then, but pretty much every successful movie, now there's high art movies like your Mementos and stuff that do it and turn it on its head. They take it all and shuffle it. But your basic movies, almost every great basic movie has the same thing. Harry and the Hendersons, they're hunting at the beginning. The daughter is over this hunting and mosquitoes. The mom is a little over it with the dad and this hunting. The little kid kills.
Somebody look this up. Is Harry from Harry and the Hendersons, is that Ron Perlman or no?
No, it's not, but they look exactly alike. It's actually
dude.
The guy in the suit he's like my 2 favorite characters ever. That was the same big dude he was the Predator too. The second Predator. The first Predator was Jean-Claude Van Damme. But he
dude, how much money could they have saved on makeup just getting Ron Perlman?
Yeah, Ron Perlman looks just like him. I actually made a GIF of I made a JPEG of them next to each other. They look exactly alike. I think they used that. There was I watched it again. I bought it for the girls on Amazon, and like a Harry and the Hendersons 2 popped up, but it wasn't called Harry and the Hendersons 2. But they dusted off that old suit, bro, because it looked just like Harry. I was like, they made like a B movie or a C movie with him, which is very disheartening because that first one was gold. But anyway, the Predator, the actual Predator you see on screen, that big dude, and Harry and the Hendersons, Harry from Harry and the Henderson's the same guy. And I believe he died. And anytime I don't know how someone died, for some reason, my mind tells me they died of AIDS. So I believe he died of AIDS.
Dude, how crazy is that about Rumble?
Oh, man. Dude, you don't know how much I love Rumble Johnson. Anthony, we got to set stuff up for your audience. Anthony Rumble Johnson was an electric, dynamic, super hard-hitting MMA fighter, and he had more natural knockout power than probably anybody. He didn't have a great work ethic, but he could just do anything. So much so that he started as like 155-pound middleweight, knocked people out, gained weight, got big, all the way up to heavyweight, super heavyweight even when he got out of the UFC.
Dude, yeah, super heavyweight. Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
And he was still knocking people out.
Broke Arlovsky's jaw.
Yeah, and he made all the way to 2 title fights. I flew to Vegas to watch him fight when he was supposed to fight John Bones Jones. John Jones did his cocaine and wrecked into a woman that was pregnant and broke her arm and she almost lost her baby. And then Cormier came up and wrestled him to death. So Rumble didn't win, but I mean I had the Rumble T-shirt on. I got my fiance at the time, now wife, a Rumble Johnson shirt on. I was excited for Rumble to crush John Jones's head in, especially after that. But you got
her that Rumble Johnson dildo.
It's that Russell. No, the Rumble Johnson dildo. No, right. My ass couldn't take it. I'm about a digit. Like I said, when I wipe my ass, I mean, your ass isn't wiped unless you go the first digit deep. We can agree on that, And I don't.
Yeah, I feel like it's getting worse, bro. I feel like I'm needing more now.
Yeah, first digit deep. And when I was a kid, like I didn't stop it when the doo-doo, like you go from too much brown to light brown to it's gone. And then I would wipe a little harder and get it to blood. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking off first layer of skin. I got a sanitized butthole, my friend. Now we have things like those flushable wipes, which aren't actually flushable from what I've heard. Since that's what my wife tells me.
Yeah, bro, don't flush those damn things.
Yeah, my wife always yells at me. She asks me if I flush them.
There's like a city municipal waste and all that. They're like having to go down into the sewers and pull out giant wads of fucking wipes.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. So they're not actually flushable. But on those things, it's just a word of advice if you guys need tips on wiping your ass. If you're going to wipe your own ass with one of those, I say start dry. You don't want to put wet doo doo with wet nonsense on that thing and
Yeah,
have it smeared all over.
and then you got to follow up with
A dry wipe,
a,
right? You got to follow.
with regular toilet paper. Yeah, dude.
Correct. You don't want, even if it's soapy water, you don't want soapy water on your ass cheeks all day. Get out of here. So the way it works is regular wipe, first digit deep, if you're going to get it clean. From there, you once it's all good, one little wipe with the wet wipe, you're good. Don't throw it in the toilet because you don't want your sanitation workers having to fucking dig out tons of it from your sewage system.
Yeah. Dry, wet, dry.
It takes me 2 or 3 wipes now. I got a big asshole.
Well,
So,
yeah. Technically, he said dry, wet, dry.
So no, I'm at a dry, possibly a third dry if needed, wet, then a dry. That's where I'm at. 5 wipes, and you're good. We won't name this guy, and we had this argument, and this is shocking to me, and shame on you if you do it too, if you're a listener. But this is where we and Tommy were at. We had a fellow comic book pro that was shocked that when we wiped our ass, rolled the toilet paper around our hand and had it, folded. This guy wadded it up in his hand and wiped. What kind of monster? Like imagine rolling up a sheet of paper and smearing it on ink. You wouldn't even know what surface is what. That's just a mess back there. Could you imagine being a 40-year-old man and admitting to being a wad wiper? Don't ever wad wipe. And if you do, fix it. Fold it. Just be patient.
He was a standing wiper too.
I would always stand wipe at the end and waddle over and wet the toilet paper and then wipe and then do a dry wipe before the wet wipes came out. So,
man, I've never stood.
Oh man, it's not a shameful walk, but I was like, man, what if anyone ever walked in while my pants are down and I'm waddled over to the fucking sink? You know what I mean?
Do you go over to the hand dryer if you're eating out? You ain't ever done that?
Oh God, no. I was talking about in my own house, but can you imagine if you waddle out of the stall? Oh my God, a grown man. I don't know how far you couldn't make it too far in life before you were arrested. Like those kids in school, whenever you stood next to them and they would let their drawers fall to their knees when they took a leak.
Yeah, dude, what is up with that?
What is up with that? There's a point where you're a little too old for that. You're going to get arrested.
I guess some suspenders, bro.
I know.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get arrested for that. Jeez. What are you clicking?
I'm opening and closing the top of when you buy lead, it comes in those rectangles that have like 10 pieces of lead in it. Uh-huh. And this was a fancy one, the Oni pin one, and it's got a really cool top. Instead of just opening it and pulling the cap off, it's got a sliding top. So I didn't know you could hear it. I was clicking it back and forth.
Oh, that's all right. Just gonna drive people crazy, no big deal.
I was keeping the minutes so we can document this wonderful speech we're giving everybody.
Some people are Nazis, dude. Second. If you burp or eat or make a squeaky chair, some people flip out, dude. I'm just not like that. I care less.
So you're working on pages today or what?
I remember when Joe Rogan was on YouTube, all the comments would constantly be complaining about the noises they heard. Am I what now? Sorry.
So you're working today? You're drawing?
Yeah, I'm in theory going to try to do a whole page live, like start to finish. I'm getting there.
How far are you into it now?
Not very. I'm already fading, dude. I'm already thinking about a cheeseburger right now. But you came in, you brought some energy. That's all one can ask for. If you got poop, hang on. Art and Times of Jaron says, if you got poop on your face, You aren't going to dry wipe it onto your face. You're going to wash it off. Keep your butts clean. I can see that.
Say it again. If you got poop on your face,
You aren't going to use a dry wipe on it first. You're going to wash it.
oh,
Well, that's different. I mean, you can't go around dunking your asshole in water.
oh, that's different. Speaking on poop on, I got a poop on your face story here.
Oh, dude, what if you need to start the trend? You just lift that top lid up and just stick your whole ass down into the toilet.
Oh yeah, you talk about a bidet. That's a
fucking
that's a white trash bidet.
just stick your whole ass in. Oh gosh,
stuck your whole ass in there. I like it. Speaking of poop on my face, the one time I had poop on my face, I'll tell you the story.
All right, let's hear.
All right, so I am, I don't know, 13 or 14, and you start getting a couple of hairs like on your neck and sideburns or something. And, I get all my nice shaving stuff. And back then, Gillette would send you, they somehow knew your age, they would send you a free razor. So I got like that 3 razor. I had some cool, nice cream. I go take a hot shower.
Oh, do you get free razors and like 100 free CDs back in the day?
Yeah. So I go, I get this razor and I get this hot shower, steamed up. And always, when you take a shower, I would always get so hot that my skin would turn red, and you'd be hot after. This is an aside. This is a bad storytelling thing. But when I lived with my brother, he had his Mexican buddy, Juan, he saw my brother come out of the shower before we were going out and saw me come out of the shower. We're just fucking breathing hard and hot. And he's like, God damn, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all are smoking hot. And he's like, yeah, we got to take a hot shower. And he's like, why don't you cool it off at the end? Jesus, because we're laying there all hot, right? But anyway, so we used to take these hot showers and it'd steam up real bit bad. And I got out of that shower and I started shaving. And I wiped a little bit, a circle on the window, so I could see myself. And I'm shaving. And I go and there's a hand towel, which is next to the toilet, but a hand towel, it's hanging up. I reach and grab that and wipe off all the excess shaving cream. And as soon as I do, I start smelling shit. I look in that fucking steamy circle and I see shit smeared all over my face, dude.
What?
Yeah. Charlie, who or of, my little brother was like 2 or 3 and learned to wipe his ass. And what he would do was
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He'd grab the shower curtain and wipe his ass on it sometimes because I guess because he's lazy or weird. And for whatever happened this time, he used the fucking hand towel and he left it up there, and I didn't see it. And I grabbed that thing and I had smeared shit all over a freshly shaven face, and I was mortified, dude. I was furious. So that was the one time I had shit on my face.
So. Bad. I remember taking a dump watching Saturday morning cartoons. I was like 5. I didn't want to miss the cartoon, so I just jetted over behind the chair, popped a squat, dropped a couple turds in the corner. Shit, dude, I wasn't about to miss some Super Friends.
What'd your folks think about that? Did you get busted for it?
Dude, they never said anything because I remember like later that day I got to thinking about it. I'm like 4 or 5, I don't know, old enough to know better. And I got to thinking about it like, man, I better go take care of that. It hit me then. And I went and looked and it was gone, dude.
I told you, and like, this isn't my story, but my buddy told me this story. He was in the Army. His name is Nick Smith. And he used to get super drunk. And this is what he said he did. And the story was funny, so I'll tell you. What he did was he would get drunk and piss himself or shit himself, like real drunk. And he said one night he was like half asleep and had to take a shit, and he had been drinking. But people were out like on his patio. They had like a shitty jacuzzi and he had friends over. But he had gotten shit-faced drunk out there. He came back and sat on the couch and he said he had to take a shit. And then he said he's laying there and he starts taking the shit, right? He's like half dreaming about it, half blacked out. So he pulls his pants down and shits, but it's on the couch, right? So he's just shat on his own couch, right? and he still has guests there. He still has guests there, and he sees them getting up, coming in. He doesn't have time to clean it. As they're opening the door, he starts screaming, whatever this fucking name is. He calls him whatever, Rover. Rover, you piece of shit! You did it again. You did it again. You shit on the fucking couch. He blamed it on his dog, bro. He blamed it on his dog.
That's sad right there, dude.
Yeah,
That's sad.
That's sad.
Oh man, that whole breakdown during the Johnny Depp trial about that was pretty fucking hilarious.
Oh, did they say it was a dog and not her, or what?
Well, no, I mean, like, they had Johnny Depp tell the story, and he was laughing while he was telling it because it's hilarious. And yeah, it's the end of that. Johnny Depp.
You trying to get your viewers up? I mentioned Johnny Depp. Damn, I know it was that tight around.
I've just been researching, all the hot topics from
I thought that news cycle was
from
over.
a year ago.
What do you think about a grown man wearing extra rings than a wedding ring?
Just not my thing, bro. Just not my damn thing.
I got a buddy who does it. He's got these cool skull rings and he's got these cool cuffs on, and I get it. It is cool.
You just gotta go. You gotta go all in on it.
Yeah. He is kind of all in at this point. But then I'm thinking, like, you're putting on like 6 rings, putting on bracelets and shit. Like, don't you just want to go walk out the door? Just put on your shirt and leave. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. And then, like, if you wave or something, you're rattling around.
Yeah, I'm not trying to jingle everywhere. You know what I mean?
Remember when Jason Whitlock, right before he got kicked off ESPN, he was calling.
Jason Whitlock is done now. Like, he's completely right. Like, no one will let him on. I was watching him the other day. He was popping up on Fox News or something.
No, he's on the Blaze. He works for the Blaze now.
He's like completely gone. I mean, not completely gone, but his old friends probably ain't his friends now based on the way he talks. Let's put it that way.
Well, I remember back in like 2010, he was saying Scoop Jackson, who also worked for ESPN at the time. He said he was out there bojangling for money.
He was my favorite guest host. I found him on PTI. He was always my favorite guest host on PTI.
Yeah, he was good on that and on Sports Reporters. I don't know if you ever watched that on Sunday morning.
No, I never watched it. But he's got commentary on everything now.
Yeah.
He did not get the message.
No. He's a full-blown white supremacist.
No. Oh.
At least he came by it honest,
He does say some crazy stuff. I don't actually agree with everything he said.
Shit. What's he said wrong?
He just says he takes some wild takes. Like, I don't even know why he's a sports guy, but I think he was commenting on that Nancy Pelosi thing. Like, and obviously the wildest take on it. I mean, I don't know if you have any insight there, but did you see, like, they reported it, and the way they reported it was suspect, or as the kids say today, sus. And then MSNBC or one of these people deleted it because they said it's not up to the quality of their journalism. I guess it left too many things open to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Whitlock took the wildest interpretation.
Took liberties with it?
Yeah, he took liberties with it. And I'm like, dude, I thought this guy talked about sports.
Nah.
Not about Nancy Pelosi's husband and his lover, or whatever he was talking about.
Yeah, that whole story doesn't add up, but it got swallowed up by election bullshit. So.
No, I think look, if I'm in the room with you and I'm calling the police and you got a hammer, like, just this is what I think. Like, this is plausible here. You got a hammer and I call, he's like, well, let me just call my friend, and I get on the phone with the police and I say, I'm here with my friend Tommy, my good friend, because you can hear me, but they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then that's to me plausible on how a guy with a hammer shows up in my house, and I got to pretend to be his friend to him. But not what I don't say is, please come save me from this nudist psychopath, right? He just happened to be a nudist, so that could be why he was naked. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, that's plausible to me. So like, I don't necessarily agree with the extreme take.
but then they said nobody else was there, and Paul Pelosi's the one that opened the door. But he didn't
Yeah,
he didn't take off running. He went back in only to get his head smashed in with a hammer. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know, bro.
That was like he could have been keeping up the facade because he didn't know if the guy's got a gun or something. But that was the one weird part. I think that's why they took down the one that the MSNBC took down or whatever, was because the report said that he walked back in, and then that's what created the speculation or whatever. The tweet that what's his face?
Look, it's clear he was on some poppers and had his ass dilated.
Whoa! I disavow.
Well, I guess the point is, earlier in the year, you had the DUI. Nobody, they don't know who he hit. He supposedly had somebody in the car with him, but now that might not be the case. So maybe, I don't know, stay out of trouble, bro. I know what you're saying. Well, the guy was breaking and entering. Yeah, I don't know. And what was Capitol Security doing, Supposedly they were watching, but they weren't watching.
Yeah, but who's going to be watching at 3 a.m.? Any job you ever had.
That's the fucking prime time to watch. What are you talking about?
Nah, everyone's asleep. They've been there for 100,000 days. They see this old dude coming home drunk, bringing boyfriends home. They just fall asleep.
Well, I just think, nobody's good at their job, bro. That's the bottom line.
Well, I'm saying like nobody would be alert. Like, when are you going to be on high alert? I mean, after a while, you get used to your surroundings. You're not expecting someone to show up with a hammer and bust in windows and hold this guy hostage. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, where's security detail, period? Like, the in-person detail. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, dude. He got his head smashed in with a hammer, and he probably deserved it, so fuck him.
I wouldn't have been going upstairs. I would have stayed downstairs and gotten that $10,000 deep freeze with that $300 ice cream inside. That's what I'd have been going after with my sweet tooth.
Yeah, dude.
There's $300 ice cream.
They're up for a smash and grab.
Yeah, but I hate the name Remembering the Archetypes or whatever's going on there.
Oh, I know.
Not for me.
I know. I like bringing it up because everybody gives me shit over it. So I enjoy trolling you into hating me.
Well, you're very successful at it. Because I hate it. I just want to see you put on a chicken head or something. Big old Q-tip head. Something cool, A little theatrics, a little pageantry,
You want me to Bojangle, basically, is what you want.
Yeah, I want you to Bojangle.
That's it, dude. You got all these creators out here Bojangling. I'm just trying to get online and draw a page, dude. Talk about wiping my ass for an hour and a half.
I want you to peacock a little bit, Earn it.
Anyway, yeah, Sumo is like half listening. I don't know what to tell you. When you've been buddies as long as I have with Nick, you just kind of talk what you talk about.
What did you say?
Sumo was half listening to the conversation and was wondering like what all the deep butt wiping conversation was about. Not really about anything. Just is.
Just about the 30 minutes. I mean, we talk about everything, so
Yeah.
That's about 30.
I hope we inspired you to wipe your ass. All right. I think I might end the stream after I get this guy shaded in.
Why? Push it too far?
Or, I don't know. I guess I could sit down. I'm getting kind of tired. I need to start standing and drawing every day. I'm too fucking lazy, though. But back, 2012, whatever, standing all day. Much healthier. My face was way less red. Just a really good looking guy back then. Now I'm a hideous fat monster. We got 2 more episodes of Stranger Things to watch.
You going to The Chosen? Go to The Chosen, bro.
I might. Is it really, really that good?
Well, I'm in a Bible study right now, trying to learn. I've never really been a churchgoer, but it's cool to learn about new stuff. And in that, you can just read John. Read John if you want to read one of the books in the Bible, and he's just kind of like this dry thing. Like Jesus walks by Simon, and Simon tells him to cast his net, and he pulls up some fish, and Simon follows him. Jesus does this, Jesus does that. What the show does is take those kind of dry text and give them gravitas and set them up like storytelling wise. They show Simon is in debt and Simon is on his last wit. He's about to lose his home and his life and his wife and be in debtor's prison and possibly killed because of a deal he made with the Romans. All that's not in the Bible. I don't know. I'm not that well read, so maybe it is. But they're adding all of that context to get to that line when he tells him to throw the thing in. And then at that point, it's believable that if someone tells you throw your net in and you pull up so many fish that it pays off all your debts and you're walking around telling everyone you're the Messiah and you can do these magical things. And it's kind of awesome. He's kind of like Superman in that way where you would think you can't write him, but if you set up the good deeds in a really interesting way, it would at least make the moments have emotional impact. And I think they do a good job at setting up things where they put people who are calling out to God and do want help, which is what we all want. And so maybe watching gets a bit of wish fulfillment, but there is something cool about watching a modern show. And there's something cool about like a modern show about Jesus is cool. So it kind of like, if you know any bit of the Bible, it illustrates some of that in a new light, which is fun. I know some religious people have problems with it because they're adding stuff or whatever, but who cares? I think it's cool. And what I really like, if you like this crowdfunding stuff, is these alternative economies that are popping up. That because that show couldn't get funded, and they went and crowdfunded it and made like $4 or $5 million to make the first season. So you're watching this show get on its feet and build up steam, and to the point where Amazon bought it now, or at least bought the first 2 seasons. The new season is going to be released. The first 2 episodes is coming out next week.
We're gonna get that
in
woke
theaters.
Jesus coming up. That woke Jesus.
Nah, Jesus just loves you, dude. He just wants the best for you. That's all he wants. It's cool. It's like what you really want someone looking out for you, who wants the best for you. The closest thing you can think of if you're a parent is a father figure, right? Like my wife talks about this a lot, where the best way we could know God or of a God is He's not giving you rules because he's punishing you. You give your kids, you tell them things what not to do because you want what's best for them. And I think that is what a godlike being would be if there's a window into understanding that consciousness. I think he says, don't do this, don't touch that burning stove because it'll burn your hand, but you're going to go do that anyway, or you're going to go learn the hard way or whatever. But it is kind of nice to have a distilled code to start with if you could trust in it. But most of us need to learn the hard way, like me, or definitely like me. I won't speak for you. But anyway, so the show's cool because it was crowdfunded and it's catching steam, and you get to see biblical stuff illustrated in a modern way, how it would be handled in modern cinema. And there's never been a multi-season show about Jesus Christ's life, and they're trying to do that, and I think that's kind of cool. So I like it. My wife, every time Jesus shows up, just bursts into tears. So it's like crazy.
It's too real to her, bro.
It is like, I mean, she's a way more devout believer than me. She's like Irish Catholic, and I'm come from everything from an agnostic point of view. But I do think there are some. They set it up the scenes well enough where there's an emotional impact when Jesus helps someone, and I think it's just done well. And unless you're a complete heathen, I imagine you like it too. You know what I mean?
Dude, in art in college for painting class, I started painting this picture of Jesus, and my mom, she was all skeptical of me going to college. Right, I was the first one really in the family to go to college. She's like, I don't know, you didn't do so well in high school.
Smart woman.
Yeah. Woman. Nah, dude, college was my choosing. You know what I mean? Different. Anyway, I was painting this painting of Jesus, Mama, and that sold my mom on me going to college. Right? She's like all about it then, because I started painting Jesus, and I'm painting Jesus in my bedroom, and I didn't have the window open, didn't have any ventilation, dude, and that fucking thinner started getting me, bro. And that's all. I almost went and met Jesus. Because I got high on paint thinner. That's a weird. You don't want to be high like that, dude. Oof, it was rough. I don't see how these motherfuckers go out and huff gas and shit.
I was saying, like, people that huff gas and huff paint.
Dude, my buddies in school, they were like,
man,
huffing,
you got to be.
They were huffing Freon and shit out of cars. That's just like, damn.
Even if you get in a smoking pot and you can like dig out that resin, that black goo from your pipes and stuff and smoke that, like even then you feel dirty. You're like, oh, this is terrible. Some kind of drug addict, But if I go open up the gas can in the garage and put my nose to the rim and start huffing, woo, you're at a different level of addiction at that point, I think. You know what I mean?
Nope. Sorry about that. Wasn't meaning to have a shaky table.
You were shaking everywhere?
No, it tilts down the longer I'm on it. And it was hitting the light, which is attached to the table that the camera's attached to. So hopefully less shaking now. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I've never heard you so apologetic before.
I'm so sorry, baby. Well, Zaid showed up. He wants in. Well, it's on Skype, so I'd have to send you a Skype link.
All right, if Zaid's listening, I know I'm being redundant here.
Go off on him.
Google the Toadies. Their only popular song, Possum Kingdom. Listen to it with your demon ears. Right?
Definitely.
You're gonna listen to that song and you're gonna think that's about a serial killer. This is pretty cool. And then open your fucking dirty ears and listen to it and know that it's Christ walking that girl around a lake, pleading with her to save her soul. Listen to it, jam it, and when the goosebumps start showing up on the back of your neck and your arms, you will know that the demon is leaving your body and the Holy Spirit is filling you with ever eternal life. All right.
You know, I could see this the music thing going so well that we just start full on exercising people, dude.
He starts shaking. We have to hit him with that disclaimer early. You know what I mean? If you start vomiting and crawling all over the house, we are not responsible. I don't know. It's kind of dead in the water because between the copyright strikes and the legal suits we're going to have, this is too good of a. There's such thing as too good of an idea, Tommy. You know what I mean?
Definitely. You ran across it. You found it. One thing that could make us rich.
Look, he'll let you in, Zaid, under one condition. Listen to that music so you can talk to me about it. I want you to listen to it, thinking about it being Jesus walking that girl around instead of a serial killer. And then you can come in and add to this conversation. That's the only thing I want to talk about right now. I don't want to talk about anything else. I don't want to hear about comic books. I don't want to hear about your fucking sideburns. I don't want to hear about your bromance with Simon Bisley. I don't want to hear about anything.
They're tight. Him and Biz, they're tight.
I'm only interested in your salvation right now.
For the first time in your life, Phil, you got somebody worried about your soul. Should take advantage of it.
I stood him up last night. I promised those guys I would get on and draw, but
Okay.
Kid woke up and I fell asleep with the kid.
I'm just not up past 10, ever. I don't think I ever will be again. Is that your pacemaker I'm hearing? What's going on there?
It's gonna be something. Oh, that's my Amazon. I hope I got. What I did is I've been reading Fist of the North Star. Can you pull up a picture or no? You know the manga Fist of the North Star? I've been reading that with my 3-year-old, which is probably not age appropriate because he punches people and they fucking explode. But she is all about it. I ordered her a shirt and I ordered her a doll of Kenshiro, Ken. She loves Ken. She loves reading the book with me. It's super fun. And I think it comes today, the shirt. I gave her the toy yesterday. I posted an adorable picture online of her holding the book and the toy.
I gave my daughter the Kabbalion. She got about a quarter of the way through it, and then her dog ate it.
Hey, that's that all happens for a reason if you read the Kabbalion. It'll find you when it's supposed to find you. That dog ate that shit before she could get too deep. You know what I mean? That's just how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, she was already starting to ask them tough questions.
I like what you said about the Kabbalion. You said, even though the Kabbalion opens that it's not a religious book, you're like, no, this ain't a religious book. But you said it perfectly. You said the Kabbalion is just the Bible without the people or places.
Yeah. With no setting and no actors.
Yeah. You know we're going to turn this into a religious
I know,
show.
that's what I was just now thinking. Did we touch people's hearts today? We got some drawing lessons. And go back our books.
They heard the good news today. Wipe your ass, clean your ears. And if you actually shit on your couch, don't blame it on your dog.
Let's see, J-Man concept art? I don't know why people try to give J-Man shit. I like him.
Who's J-Man?
He's the little wankster guy that is in the Brown book.
Oh.
That book that you didn't support your best friend, you know, the one you didn't back. Piece of shit.
I haven't read any of those books. I don't know what they are.
It ain't about that, bro. It's about supporting me.
I just now got into crowdfunding. I came in and blew the doors off already.
You know, what about the FTX finance, dude? I've been going down that rabbit hole hardcore.
I saw you sent me the text, but I didn't really. I mean, I did own some cryptocurrency for a while until I sold it. I made a profit, by the way. I wasn't one of the ones holding the bag.
Sure you weren't.
I did. I made a little profit.
It's
I made a little profit. I got to pay my taxes on them too, which sucks. I had to send a dude. I was nickel and diamond every day, like a day trader. And dude, the report that Robinhood gave me was like 500 transactions. It was such a pain in the ass, and I sent it to my tax guy. I'm like, I can't do this. It's like buy this for $300, sell it for $320. Buy this for $280, sell for $240. You know,
Yeah.
Overall, it was net enough to where I had to pay something, but I didn't break the bank, but I didn't lose any money.
Well, considering the time spent, you probably lost money.
Oh yeah, considering the time spent. Yeah, I definitely lost money if you add time spent on anything, I guess.
Shit.
I was the opposite of whatever they call hodling. I did not hodl. I was like, that's $20 right there. I'll take that $20. I did not have diamond hands. I had them toilet paper hands. Dude, everyone with diamond hands at 68,000 lost their ass. I sold it like 65,000. I did not have a whole coin though, but I had bought in as it was going up over and over. So, and daily dips.
Did you watch the Chappelle Saturday Night Live?
No, I didn't watch it.
Pretty good.
I didn't know he was on it. I gotta go take a shower. Is Zane coming in a minute or no?
Nah, he only had 15 minutes and he's got to go to work. He's got to go clean out the coins at the arcade.
You still want my company or what? I'm gonna go have a smoke and I gotta go take a leak.
Nah, we're done here. I'm done.
All right. You want to get on again a little bit and draw or what? Solo, me and you?
Yeah. I'll be drawing all evening. So,
All right.
call me back. I'm going to go eat something.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
And to my faithful crowd, thanks for stopping by. I might fire it up again later. I don't know. But I need to sit and draw for a bit. Later, everyone.